My name is Souzana. Welcome to Love Belly Dance, my fundamental Oriental style belly dance vocabulary series. I'm going to teach you our balanced, supportive posture for belly dance. We're going to first start by standing with our feet parallel to one another, toes are forward. We can look at our hip bones right here as a guide, and we can draw a straight line down through the center of our feet. We can also think of a fist width, having our feet a fist width apart. So those two things, whether you use your hip bones as a guide or your fist, I encourage you to maybe step out a little wider, a little closer together, and see what works best for you and gives you the greatest range of motion. So once we're there, the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to turn to the side so you can see, is I'm going to slide my knees forward. And so this is our soft knees. So anytime I say soft knees, this is what I mean. It's just a slight bend. So sliding the knees forward, and what that does is it drops the tailbone down. We're going to feel as if we have a heavy fishing lure, a fishing weight, attached to our tailbone, and it's helping us to drill that tailbone straight to the ground. And the next thing we're going to take notice of is that we have three bony landmarks, our hip bones here and our pelvic bone. And it creates the shape of a triangle or a fig leaf. So we're going to think about the tip of our fig leaf as pointing straight to the ground. So don't worry about what your body looks like. If it looks like mine, stand to the side. Maybe I have more junk in my trunk than you do. Maybe you have less. Whatever the case is, what you want to feel is where your pelvis is in relationship to your own body and not what it looks like in comparison to anybody else. So the next thing we want to do is we want to firm up through our core. And so you want to feel as if you're wearing a light corset or Spanx. So I call this our Spanx for belly dancers. So if you're going to go out for a night out and you're wearing a slinky little dress, maybe you need, like you want to feel a little more confident, you pull up those Spanx all the way up to here, but we don't need those. What we're going to do is we're going to firm up our muscles, and that's going to give us the support we need. So what that does is when we soften the knees, drill that tailbone down, our fig leaf is pointing to the ground, our core is engaged here. That's going to help keep that pelvis in that neutral position. So you want a neutral pelvis. So the next thing you're going to think about is that your chest is lifted up out of your waist. So we don't want to be slumped down. We want to feel lifted as if there's space between each and every vertebrae. And so as you lift up, take care that you're not lifting the front of your chest any higher than the back. So if you imagine there's 2 points here and 2 points here on your back, you want to make sure that they're level. This is going to help us out later on when we do our chest lift, because if we start from a neutral chest and we do a chest lift, this is going to give us range of motion. If we're already lifted and I say do a chest lift, there's not a lot of range of motion there. Not really anywhere you can go with it. So we want to make sure the chest is relaxed down while also being lifted up out of the waist. Good. So you can think of it as if you've got headlights here, you're shining straight forward, shoulders are going to be rolled back and down. So you're going to feel your shoulder blades not only reaching towards your spine, but if you were wearing a pair of pants that have pockets, you're going to feel the shoulder blades reaching down towards those pockets, into those pockets. And so to assist us with that, we're going to do an exercise. We're going to bring our arms up, and when we do this, make sure you stay engaged here and the chest level, okay? So here we go. We're going to take a deep breath in, and I'm going to feel a spiraling back and down. So feel a spiraling happening as you bring the arms here. Keep the core really nice and engaged here. From the fingertips to the elbows, we're going to spiral in the opposite direction. So you're spiraling back, back, back. From the fingertips to the elbows, you're going to spiral forward. So you want to feel, instead of straight out to the side here in a T position, you want to lower the fingertips a little bit and then forward. So if you're to bring your palms inward here, it's like you're hugging a great big tree. But we're going to go ahead and place our palms so they're facing the ground. And then we're going to check in with our hands and make sure we've got a nice, graceful dancer hand happening. So you want to think about your middle finger here and your thumb reaching, so it's like you're holding a quarter, or maybe even a nickel. You're bringing that thumb in, and there's energy and life all the way through the fingertips. You want to take care that you're not doing limp wrists, and that you're not doing a really flexed wrist, because if you had an energy highway here, and you had little energy cars running down your arms, where would they go? If your hands were flopped down like that, they would crash right down into the deep abyss. And if we were to hold our wrists like this, you'd end up with an energy highway traffic jam, because they'd be going down the energy highway and then bam, they would hit that blockage there. And so really think about extending the energy through the fingertips, so as you're dancing, the energy is able to flow up through the ground, into your body, and out through your fingertips. So if you were holding a flashlight, you'd be lighting your way to the sides here. If you had a flashlight and your wrist was like that, you'd be lighting the ground or the sky. So think about your flashlights reaching outward with that. So again, we're gonna take a deep breath in. Exhale, think of it spiraling back and down, shoulder blades reaching to the black pockets, from the elbows forward, spiral forward. And this is our strong, basic arm position. This is like I'm confident, I'm ready to go, I'm very powerful, the elbows are lifted, but sometimes we want to dance in a little bit softer way, and so we can have a version that's a little softer. So when we do a soft basic position of the arms, we want to go ahead and curve the elbows a little bit, and we want to take care that there's not angles, like hard angles there, that it's a really nice gentle slope, and so it doesn't block that energy. There's still a nice slope there for the energy to flow through, okay? Or we might bring it down here. This is if we're doing a kind of maybe a flirty, maybe coquettish, kind of like just softer choreography. We might want to bring it here or here. So this is like a really strong and confident and powerful kind of posture here. And then this is a little bit softer, and then we might bring it down here into this position. But we still want to feel that spiraling back and down, and a spiraling forward of the energy, and that's our home base. So if I talk about home base, you're always going to come here. This is especially important when you're doing upward moving hip movements. You want to make sure that the pelvis is nice and neutral. You've got all these nerves back here. And so when you start to move your hips in an upward direction, it's important to keep the back nice and open and long. Maintain that natural curve of the spine while keeping a supported core here. And you will be able to keep dancing pain-free and happy for many, many years. And that is our basic, balanced, supported posture.